Hey everyone, this is a little video on how to use Youidraw. This is a website that I've been looking at in terms of using some vector, so it might be kind of good for you. We are going to use it really simply in kind of our avatar online presence little experiment here. When you get to youidraw.com, you're going to want to make it available in your Chrome Web Store, which means you're going to add it as an extension. It's just going to make life easier for you because it'll connect with Google. So this all pops up. I'm going to add it to Chrome. I hit add app and then it shows up there, or nothing happens on your Chromebook. Either way, you're good to go. Now you're going to go to logo creator, and there's another spot where you would add to the Chrome Web Store if you haven't already, or you can go ahead and start your logo creator for free. So what you'll see is a bunch of pre-made logos. A lot of them, I'm going to be a little snooty for a minute, are kind of like that. They're typical, right? Which is not a bad thing. I mean, in the world of design, we've got a lot of options out there, but what these are templates. And so for this avatar unit, we're just wanting you to experience these 3 different ways that you can build a little like icon for yourself. So this one in Youidraw is going to be emphasis on your initials, or if you want to do your name or a nickname or something like that. So you'll notice on the left here, there's some like logo creators in different types of themes. And what I want you to look for is one that you think would look good in the little circle icon. I mean, look, even right up here, there's a little circle profile icon right up there, circle profile icon. So, oh, look, I'm not signed in. Here we go. So if you get that sign in, go ahead and do that. Perfect. So think about what would look good in a circle. Now you can edit them a little bit. So like you could add text on that guy. You could add text on that guy. This guy, like, how would that fit in the circle? This is really complicated, even though it's a circle. So you might need to play a little bit. But there's some on here that are preloaded right away where you can just change the text. Let me think. Where is that? Letter-based. So what's confusing about the letter-based one is like this guy I've played with, and you can just retype the letter. This guy is not. What's happening here is the text is what's called like outlined. So you might have to play a little bit. But remember, it's a template just to start with. So let's start with this so I can show you how easy this one is. When Youidraw pops up for you for the first time, you'll notice that there's a lot of like little pop-ups teaching you things. If you don't like those, you can go over here and turn it off with tips. You'll notice there's some options up at the top. There are some other options on the right, and there's a bunch of like templates, shapes and templates on the left here. So your artwork's right in the middle, and if you click on things, you'll notice at the bottom of your screen there's different like elements that show up. So this is this weirdo shape, and this is the J shape, and this is this weirdo shape. So those are called nodes in Youidraw. And let me show you what happens with this J. So if you double click on the J, you'll notice that these little icons are there. And what that means is you can like move these around, and that gets real complicated. That's stuff that we don't really want to deal with yet. If you click text, you get a new window here, which allows you to type something like a G or whatever for your initial. I had thought that this was text and I could change it, but apparently in this template, it's not. But that's for the better. If it allows you to change it, go ahead and add a new letter in there. But when I double click, I get these, and that we don't want to deal with right now. So I'm going to move that off to the side. I'm going to take my new G, which I created with the text tool, and I'm going to make it bigger. Notice in some places, the G, no matter how I stretch, it stays what's called constrained. If I do this, it's also constrained. I've noticed in Youidraw, sometimes it's not, meaning it'll like squish it, make it really tall and weirdo. So be careful with that. When I move it into the black, it disappears because it's a black G on top of a black shape. So if I go up to the right here, I can control my text, my fill color, which is the color of the letter, and then some other things. So I'm gonna go to my fill color so I can see my text. Fill means inside color. I'm going to go over here to my black box because that's what it is, black, and I'm going to change the color. I can go to presets over here, or I can slide around to any color that I want. So I'm going to kind of do something that maybe, I don't know, for now, like matches the pink up here. And I'm going to click OK. I'm then going to stretch it some more. And now I'm thinking about how it looks inside this shape. And I see this other shape, which I don't want. So I believe I can hit backspace or delete on my keyboard just to get rid of it, which is the case. Same with this J. I'm just going to get rid of it. Now I'm left with this one G. When I click on it, it selects text, and I can drop down and choose different types of styles of text and kind of decide what I want. Now I just have a G here, but if you want to do like a shortened version of your name, you know, like Joe, or if you want to do your initials, that would be fine too. As long as it's small, right? Because your profiles are always really tiny. So I'm just looking for something that I think kind of fits with the style of the icon in the background. And I kind of like this guy, but I'm going to double click it. I can do so because it's in text mode and make it a capital G. Oops. Let's see how that looks here. If I want to rotate it, I can click above, or I get the curvy arrow and I can rotate. And what I just did there was I copied it. So I'm going to Control C to copy, Control V to paste, and now I have a second G. Why? Because I think I'm going to play with a W. Oops. And I'm going to move around both these guys and see how they look within the shape. So what you're doing is remembering that you're emphasizing the text and trying to make your initials stand out more than the background that's there. By the way, I'm hitting Control Z if I want to go back in time. So if I go like, whoops, made that super huge, Control Z, we'll go back. I'm okay with what's happening here. I don't like love it. I don't love it, but for the sake of making the tutorial quick, I'm going to keep it the way it is, and I'm going to change the color. So I'm going to go back to this shape. I'm going to go back to the pink, and I'm going to make it just a pure white. I'm going to go to the G. I'm going to do the same thing. Shape, color, but I'm going to, this says no color, so I don't want that. It doesn't seem to have a, oh, there it is, white. So now I've got this sort of WG, sorry for the bell, which I think is decent enough, right? It's, this focus is on the WG. It's a colorful thing. It could fit into a circle, and I'm going to call myself done. So now what I'm going to do is go to File, Save As, which only works if you're signed in. So make sure that you've signed in to Youidraw through Google. You can save as, and you can take it into your Google Drive. You're going to find your VAT folder. It does not look like it's alphabetized, so that's going to be fun. You're going to find your VAT folder. I'll use this one. And then you're going to click OK. But before you click OK, notice that there's a place to name it. You know, I'm big on naming. So I'm going to name it Letter Logo Profile. And then hit OK. It's saving. So now that will go directly into my drive. Another option, if you're having trouble with that, is export. You can export as a PNG or a JPEG. I'd suggest a JPEG because I have a white background. And then you're going to go to export. And it's going to drop into your downloads or your pictures in your Chromebook.